Well, hi, everybody. I'm Ernie Harwell. And welcome to Milwaukee Braves baseball. Join the crowd and enjoy the action. You're on 66 WAPBA. We're coming to you from out here at the park where the Braves will host the visiting Pittsburgh Pirates.
Their record now, 1-1. Game number 3 of 3
Here in Milwaukee, the Braves
have won 1 and lost 1.
The Braves take the field here in the first. Anderson has set his opening slate. Torrey at first base. O'Connell at second. Logan, the shortstop. Matthews at third. The outfield consists of Tanner in left field. Thompson in center field. And Aaron over in right. Crandall is behind the plate and on the mound for the Braves. The right-handed Bucs. He can be the wild thing out there. He will be facing Pirates starter right-hander Johnson. So settle in. We're ready to start this game. Cash leading it off. Cash good at the plate, looking for his first hit. 0 for 8. Cash takes his stance. Now Bucs ready. Here's a pitch from Bucs. Lofted to center. Thompson has the range and the bead. And he puts it away. 1 down. Hebner comes up to bat. Hebner, a fair hitter, looking for his first hit. Nothing in 8 trips. Right-hander Bucs ready. Now the pitch. Hebner puts a charge into this pitch. It might fly. Tanner races back to the wall. He times his leap and comes down with a glove full of dead homer. Terrific play. 2 down. Stargell, the hit, hitting third. Stargell, a fierce hitter. So far this season, 2 for 7. Willie has homered twice with 2 ribbies. He's walked once. Crandall sets up. The pitch. Misses the strike zone. Stargell dabbles to first. The next Pirates batter is Clemente for Pittsburgh. 2 away, runner on first. A bat to watch. So far this season, 3 hits in 8 trips. Bucs prepares to come home. The offering from Bucs. A towering fly ball to center. Thompson drifts back. This should do it. He brings it down, and that's out number 3. For the Pirates, no runs, no hits, no errors. They lead 1. Pirates, nothing. Braves coming up. For the Pirates,
their record now, 1-1. On the league leaderboards, they came into the game
7th
in batting average
at 164.
Tied for 2nd in home runs with 3. 3rd in ERA
at 2.04. The Pirates take the field here in the first. Defensively for Pittsburgh. Robertson at first base. Cash at second. Alley, the shortstop. Hebner at third. The outfield consists of Stargell in left field. Oliver in center field. 8. Johnson focuses in on the target. He cranks and fires. Strokes solidly to left field. Stargell is right there and hauls it in. 1 away. Torrey up there. You can't afford to take him too lightly. To date, 2 for 7. Sanguin sets up. Johnson over the offering. A little tapper up the line. Robertson charges, scoops it, and tags Torrey. And that's the 2nd out. Two away. Aaron up to bat. Aaron, a fierce hitter. So far, 1 for 8. 1 homer. He's knocked in 2. Johnson focuses in on the target. The offering to Aaron. High fly ball to deep right. Clemente is back to the warning track. He's against the wall, reaches up, and brings it down. Side retired. The Pirates retire the side in order. No score here after 1. For Pittsburgh, here in the second, Robertson, Oliver, and Begone. Here's Robertson to start it off. He can surprise you at the plate. This is his 3rd game to date. 0 for 4. He's walked 3 times. The hitter stands in. Right-hander, Bew, ready. Bew winds and fires. In on the fists. Robertson fights it off into shallow right, and he's on at first. And that's his first hit this season. Oliver to face Bew. The Pirates can count on him to date at bat. 1 for 6. He's walked twice. Robertson at first, not known for his speed. Oliver waiting. Catcher ready. First baseman Torrey right on the bag. Quick move to the plate just inside. And Robertson is stealing. Crandall guns it down. And he's safe on a nice fadeaway slide. That's his first steal of the season. Oliver ready to take on Bew again. Bew is on the slab, glances back at the runner. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Bew pulled the string. And Oliver was way out front. Made him look bad. 1 down. 1 down. 2nd inning. 1 on. Now Begone to face Bew. Bats right. Capable of some fine hitting. On the year, 2 for 8. Robertson on second. Bew put on the rubber. Righty against righty. Pitcher Bew set to go. And the pitch comes in. Swung on. Softly hit line to center. Here comes Thompson. He makes the running catch. Steals a hit from Begone. Robertson held up, and now he tags. But they're holding him at second as the ball is fired back in. Two gone. 2nd inning. 1 on. We have Alley coming up to hit. He hits from the right. Let's see if he can outperform his advanced billing. To date, batting 1 for 7. Gene has 1 homer on the season. Robertson on second. Crandall sets up. The offering from Bew. Rip and a miss by Alley. And that's a strikeout. That's 3 away. That'll do it for Pittsburgh. No runs on 1 hit. 1 left. They waste the base runner. No score. The bottom of the 2nd inning coming up. Matthews, Crandall, and Thompson to bat next. Matthews starts it for the Braves. Exceptional power to date at bat. 2 for 6. He's walked twice. Eddie ready. Now Johnson ready. Here he comes. Hit hard toward the gap in right center. Oliver is racing back. He won't get it. It's off the wall. Oliver chases it down. Matthews cruises into second. No outs. 2nd inning. 1 on. Next to bat for Milwaukee is Crandall. Dell will hurt you. So far this season, 2 for 7. Matthews at second has some speed. Johnson climbs the mound. His motion stopped. Glances back at the runner. Johnson fires it in. Can't find the strike zone. That's ball 4. And Crandall coaxes a walk. And that sets up the double play. That was Crandall's first walk of the season. 2 on, the bottom of the 2nd inning. Thompson gets set to face Johnson. He has occasional power. Bobby steps up. Johnson is on the slab. Johnson prepared to work. The runners take their lead. Johnson brings it to the plate. Pop foul behind third. Hebner is over. He's under it and makes the catch. And the runners hold. The Braves have 1 out. Matthews at second. Crandall at first. Scoreless tie. Tanner is out to take his hacks. He hits from the left. Some power. Johnson put on the rubber. Catcher Begone sets his target. The runners take their lead. He comes home. Grounded hard to short. Could be 2. Alley fields it. Flips the Cash at second. Over to first. Oh, double play. And they get out of the inning. That'll do it for Milwaukee. No runs on 1 hit. 1 left on. They couldn't get the runners home. Pittsburgh due up. Johnson, Cash, and Hebner to bat next. Johnson leading it off. Bob taking his first at bat of the season. Right-hander View ready. The pitch. Check swing. Ball 4. And he trots down to first. That was Johnson's first walk of the season. For Pittsburgh, no outs. Johnson on at first. Here's Cash to take his swings. Johnson at first, not known for his speed. Batter facing View. View focuses in on the target. First baseman Torrey holding the runner on. Cash shortens up as if to bunt. View fires it in. Fouled away. Strike 1. Again, he squares to bunt. It's bunted down the third baseline. Rolling foul. Strike 2. View delivers again. Cash squares. He delivers. It's bunted down the third baseline. Matthews picks it up. Bobbles it. Fires to first. And gets him by a step. And Johnson moves up. Left-sided Hebner will bat next for Pittsburgh. 1 away. Johnson standing out at second. View climbs the mound. Checks Johnson at second. The pitch is on the way. It's popped foul behind third. Logan is over. And he's got it. And that's out number 2. For Pittsburgh, 2 down. Johnson on second. Stargell gets set to bat against View. Johnson on second. Crandall crouched down now. View comes home. Stargell hits a frozen rope. Straightaway center. Right there is Thompson. And he gloves it for the putout. Side retired. For the Pirates, nothing across. 1 left. A chance goes by the board. Another half inning gone. Still no score here after 2.5. Logan, View, and O'Connell to bat next. Here's Logan to start it off. Johnny will hurt you. This is his 3rd game to date at bat. 0 for 6. He's walked once. Johnson prepared to work. Johnson comes to him. Chopper back to the mound. Johnson up with it. Flips to first for the out. One out. Next up, pitcher View. Bob taking his first at bat of the season. Batter facing Johnson. Johnson gets set to pitch. The pitch. Swung on. A squiver in front of the plate. Johnson is in. Picks it up. Spins. Fires to first. In time. O'Connell now walks out to bat. He's their leadoff hitter. Johnson prepares to come home. And the pitch comes in. Check swing. Strike 3. Side retired. So the Braves go down 1-2-3. Still no score. Pirates coming up. For Pittsburgh, it'll be Clemente, Robertson, and Oliver. To get it going, Clemente. The hitter stands in. Right-handed View goes to the set position. Now the pitch. Clemente belts one to right center. Base hit. Thompson is over. Clemente is going for 2, and he pulls up at second as the throw comes into Logan. On with a double. For Clemente, his first double of the season. Robertson up to bat for Pittsburgh. Nobody out. Clemente on at second. A single will test Clemente at second. View climbs the mound. Checks Clemente at second. The pitch. Line toward short, just out of reach. Tanner is chasing it, rounding third. Clemente. The throw comes into Matthews, and they're holding Clemente at third. The Pirates have nobody out. 2 on, first and third. Scoreless tie. Here's Oliver. A chance to drive in a run here. He can be fanned. View on the rubber. Checks the runners. Infield drawn in. The runners take their lead. He comes home. Oliver pops it up behind the plate. Crandall tosses it mask away. Moves under it. And makes the catch for the first out. It's now time again to bat. 1 out. Runners at first and third. Manning has 1 RBI on the season. He rarely strikes out. View climbs the mound. View has a sign. Crandall sets up. The Braves are looking for the play at the plate. Clemente takes his lead at third. He brings it home. It's hacked hard. Right center field. Could be trouble for Aaron. Now he has it in range. Shy of the track. And he squeezes it. And he gets rid of it quickly. Clemente is tagging. They're waving Clemente in. Here comes the throw. And he's safe easily. Sam Guillen picks up a sac fly and an RBI. Robertson retreats and holds first. And the Pirates break the tie and now lead 1-0. 4th inning. And Sam Guillen now has 2 runs batted in on the season. 1 on the top of the 4th inning. Now Alley to face View. Batter facing View. View is ready to fire it in. The pitch. Alley sends it deep to right, but the right fielder will post himself under it. Aaron has it to retire the side. For the Pirates, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1. So they have 1 in the bank. Braves down 1-0, and they'll try to get it back coming up. Johnson will now face the Braves artillery. Torrey, Aaron, and Matthews. Here's Torrey to start it off. Torrey steadies his bat. Pitcher Johnson set to go. The delivery. Line to short, and he's got it. 1 down. Here's Aaron coming to the plate. Johnson will go to work on him. The pitch. And it's lined to center field. Oliver takes 3 steps to his right and hauls it in. 2 gone. Matthews up. Matthews steps in. Sam Guillen set. Johnson winds up. Another wide one. Ball 4. And Eddie heads down to first. Crandall is up next. Crandall steps in. Sanguine crouched down now. He comes home. Off balance swing. Missed. Side retired. For the Braves.
No runs on no hits.
One left. We've played 4. Braves down 1-0. For Pittsburgh, it'll be Johnson, Cash, and Hebner. Pitcher Johnson to lead it off. View is ready to fire it in.
To the plate.
High fly ball to center. Thompson drifts back. He's at the warning track. Taps the glove and brings it down. 1 down. Pirates hitter Cash. Some power. View is ready to fire it in. The pitch. That's high and deep by Cash. Thompson is on the run. On the run. It's starting to tail away from him. He makes a catch. He stayed with it beautifully. 2 away. All right. Hebner gets set to face View. 2 gone. Hebner 0 for 2. Hebner waiting for View. Pitcher View eyeing Hebner. Now he's ready. The delivery. Swung on, chopping ground ball up the middle. Logan is over. Stabs for it, and he's got it. Fires to first in time for the final out. The Braves retire the side in order. The score is still 1-0 Pittsburgh as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Thompson, Tanner, and Logan to bat next. Thompson starts it for the Braves. Catcher ready. The pitch. Routine grounder to second. Cash scoops it. Flips to first. 1 away. Tanner to hit. 1 down. Catcher Sanguine sets his target. He delivers. A bouncer back of second. Fielded by Cash. He throws in time, and that's the 2nd out. Logan comes up to bat. Logan 0 for 1. Sanguine set. Johnson to the wind. Logan tops it down the 3rd baseline. It'll be a tough play for Hebner. The off-balance peg. Yes! Got him by a stride. Sweet play by Hebner. Braves go down. So the Braves go in order. We've played 5. Braves still down by 1. The Pirates now send up the heart of their order to face View. Stargell, Clemente, and Robertson. Stargell to lead it off for the Pirates. He's a lefty. Willie, a strong hitter. View looking home. The pitch. Stargell dribbles one to the left of the mound. View can't reach it. Logan charges in, grabs it, and throws in one motion. And nips Stargell at first. 1 away. Clemente is up next. He has some power. Right-hander View ready. He lets one go. Strike 3. Clemente swung right through it. 2 gone. We have Robertson to bat for the Pirates. Robertson has 2 safeties in 2 trips. He's stolen the base. Pitcher View eyeing Robertson. Now he's ready. The pitch. Robertson pops it up behind the plate. Crandall moves under it and hauls it in for the final out. No runs, no hits, no errors midway through the sixth. The score is still 1-0 Pittsburgh as we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. For Milwaukee here in the sixth, Bew, O'Connell, and Torrey. Here's Bew to start it off. He bats right. He stands in. Now Johnson ready. The pitch. Bew waves it one in the dirt, and he's a strikeout victim. One down. One out, sixth inning. Here's O'Connell. We're back at the top of the order. O'Connell waiting. Johnson gets set to work on him. The pitch. Well hit drive. Deep to left field. Carrying. It's long gone. Danny ties the game. So O'Connell has his first homer of the season, and the Braves have tied this game. And that's his first hit this season. That's O'Connell's first run batted in of the season. One away, sixth inning. We have Torrey coming up to hit. He bats left. Frank 0 for 2. Torrey stands in. Pitcher Johnson set to go. Johnson comes to the plate. It's popped up in the air to the left side. Alley comes in. He's under it. And he makes the catch. 2 down. Okay, right-handed hitter Aaron gets set to bat against Johnson. 2 outs. Aaron is a real slugger. Hank has done nothing in 2 trips. Sanguin ready to receive. He comes home. Aaron swings and mashes it. It might go all the way. Stargell is at the warning track, but he'd need a ladder to get to this one. A 4-bagger for Aaron. So they collect a big 2-out solo homer. His second home run of the season.
He's now homered in 2 straight games.
And the Braves break the tie and now lead 2-1, sixth inning. And Aaron now has 3 runs batted in on the season. Now coming up, Matthews. Matthews, 1 for 1 with a walk. Right-hander Johnson ready.
To the plate.
Hit hard to Alley. He takes a high hop, throws quickly to first, and he's out on a close play. And that retires the side. The half for the Braves. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Milwaukee goes out in front. Braves leading by 1. 2-1. Oliver, Sanguin, and Alley to bat next. Oliver will start it off here in the 7th. Batting left. The hitter stands in. Right-hander Bew ready. The delivery. Way off the plate. That'll be ball 4. And a free pass for Oliver. And that puts the tying run at first. Sanguin to face Bew. On the day, he's 0 for 1. 1 RBI. You can double up Sanguin. So Oliver will need a good jump. Oliver has the speed to score on a double. That's the tying run. Bew climbs the mound, checks the runner. First baseman Torrey right on the bag. Here comes the pitch. Fly ball. Long ball. Thompson posts himself under it, and he makes the catch. 1 down. And Oliver gets back safely. One out, seventh inning, one on. Alley, the hit. Alley is hitless in 2 at-bats. The Braves infield dangerous on the double play ball, but with Oliver on first, the Braves will need a sharp ground ball. View comes set. The pitch. Alley lifts a lazy pop fly. Matthews drips back into left and brings it down. Here's Johnson coming to the plate. Catcher ready. View deals. Out sharply to the left side. Logan covers it. Flips it to O'Connell. Pirates gone. For the Pirates, no runs on no hits. One left. They had a chance but could not convert. Braves up 2-1. Okay, folks, on your feet. Take a break for the 7th inning stretch. Crandall, Thompson, and Tanner to bat next. Crandall will get it started for the Braves. He bats right. Okay, power. The batter stands in. Johnson prepares to come home. The offering to Crandall. On the ground, back through the box. Cash gloves it, spins it, fires. Long stretch. Just slips Crandall by half a step. One down. Next batter, Thompson. Okay, power. Now Johnson ready. Now the pitch. Thompson looks at strike 3. 2 down. Tanner to face Johnson. Tanner 0 for 2. Tanner relaxes himself at the plate. Right-hander Johnson ready. Johnson to the wind. On the hand, Tanner sends it high in the air, but shallow. Alley drifts under it and bags it for the putout. 3 away. Johnson sets them down in order. The score still 2-1. Braves leading. For the Braves, their record 1-1 in one-run games. For the Pirates, 1-1. Top of the order here for Pittsburgh and the 8. Cash, Hebner, and Stargell. Cash will start it off here on the 8, and he hacks from the right. In this game, he's 0 for 2, and he gave himself up once. Okay, power. View climbs a mound. View looking home. Relaxes. View winds and fires. Cash chops it toward Torrey. He backs up and plays the big hop. He waves off View and takes it himself. 1 down. One away. 8th inning. Hebner is out to take his hacks. He hits from the left. Hebner 0 for 3. Hebner with dependable power. View toes the rubber. Right-handed View goes to the set position. View comes to him. Over but low, and Hebner takes first. And that puts the tying run at first. That was Hebner's first walk of the season. 1 on. Stargell the hit. Stargell 1 free ticket in 3 trips. View climbs a mound. View now set. The pitch. Check swing. Ball 4, and he trots down to first. Bucs is upset with himself. His control has deserted him for the moment, and that moves the tying run into scoring position. And that's the 5th walk issued by Bucs. 1 away, 8th inning, 2 on. Next up, Clemente. He's their cleanup hitter. This infield can turn the DP. Willie is unlikely to get down there fast enough to break it up. Clemente, 1 for 3, and he scored a run. Bucs put on the rubber, checks Hebner at second. The runners take their lead. Here comes the pitch, big swing, but he got under it. Tanner drifts over. He's there, and he pulls it in. Both runners are tagging, but they're holding them as the throw comes back in. So Robertson will bat next for Pittsburgh. Hebner at second, Stargell at first, 2 down, down by 1. Robertson is 2 for 3. Stole a base. Bucs sets up on the rubber again. Oliver waves a weighted bat on deck, righty against righty. Checks Hebner at second. The pitch. A towering fly ball to center. Thompson is back. He's under it. He's got it. The half for the Pirates. 0-0-0. They lead 2. The Braves have held them after 7.5. Braves up by 1. For Milwaukee, it'll be Logan, Bucs, and O'Connell. Here's Logan to start it off. Right-handed hitter to face Johnson. Logan is hitless in 2 at-bats. Samgian sets up. Johnson delivers. Wrapped back to the mound, and he spears it. Over to first, and Logan is retired. One gone, 8th inning. Here's the right-handed Bucs to take his swings. And the fans are giving him a hand. Catcher ready. He delivers. Swing and a miss, and Bucs is out. 2 away. Two down, 8th inning. Now O'Connell to face Johnson. That's right. He's the top of the order. Already has a homer in this game. His first. O'Connell 1 for 3. Johnson gets set to pitch. Johnson to the wind. That's high and deep by O'Connell. Oliver is on the run. On the run. It's starting to tail away from him, and it drops in. O'Connell is headed for second. He's at second ahead of the throw. Second safety for O'Connell. For O'Connell is first. Double of the season. 1 on. It's now Torrey the bat. Torrey 0 for 3. And here comes Pirates manager Anderson. He's asking Johnson for the ball. Coming in to pitch is Justy. So Johnson gets his innings. He pitched 7 2/3. The line on him, 2 runs. So far, on 4 hits, 2 homers, 2 walks. He struck out 5. He's responsible for the runner. He can only lose it. So despite a fine performance from Johnson, he cannot win this game. For Justy, this is his first appearance. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's looking for 1 out. Justy is finished with his warm-up pitches. The umpire is brushing off the plate. We're ready to go. Justy gets set to work on him. O'Connell edges a bit more off second. Justy cranks it up, hit like a shot. Cash waves on it, but it's by him into right. O'Connell is around third. They're waving O'Connell in, and he scores. As the throw comes into second, Torrey holds it first for a single. So Torrey with a ready single, and Milwaukee increases its lead. It's now 3-1 ball game. Okay, the action's on. Aaron's up. For Milwaukee, 2 away. Torrey on first. Aaron had his second homer earlier in this game. Aaron is 1 for 3. Batter facing Justy. Catcher Begone sets his target. The pitch to Aaron. Just catches the plate. See you later. That's 3 away. For the Braves, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1. They add a little insurance. Braves leading by 2. 3-1. For Pittsburgh, it'll be Oliver, Begone, and Alley. Oliver to lead it off for the Pirates. He bats left-handed. The hitter stands in. The Anderson wheels is starting to spin. Anderson makes the switch in left field. Hafco comes into the game replacing Tanner. Al waits. Buell climbs the mound. Anderson looking on. He delivers. High fly ball to center. Thompson drifts back. He's at the warning track. Taps the glove and brings it down. That's 1. One away. 9th inning. Begone the hit. Begone can get on for you. Begone takes his stance. Buell put on the rubber. Now Buell ready. Buell comes to him. On the hands. It's a slow roller toward Matthews. He charges. Scoops it. Over to first. Just in time. 2 away. Alley walks up. Alley is 0 for 3. Gene waits. Crandall crouched down now. Pirates skipper Anderson walking down the bench. Trying to make it happen. And they're yanking Alley. Anderson will call on May to face the righty Buell. He grabs a bat and heads toward the plate. May comes up the bat. He gets his share of hits. He needs to get on base. Now Buell ready. Now Buell comes home with it. It's a ground hugger to short. Logan gloves it and easily throws out May. And that's the final out of the game. So the Braves have won the ball game, spurred on by the disciplined leadership of Anderson. Buell has a solid
3
hitter. He picks up a complete game. Here's the line for the Braves.
3
Runs on 5 hits, no errors. They lead
3
for the Pirates. A run on
3
hits, no errors. And they leave 7. Buell gets his
first
win. His record now 1-0. Johnson takes his first loss. His record now 0-1.
So that winds up this 3-game series.
Braves
Take the series
2-1 for the Braves.
overall. They now stand at 2 and
1 for the Pirates.
overall
1
and 2.
That's it for this time. Until next time, this is WAPBA and Ernie Harwell saying so long from Milwaukee. Final score, Milwaukee Braves
3
Pittsburgh Pirates 1.
You're killing me over here, Big Clue. You're killing me. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Low maintenance, a God-fearing Amish woman. Then Robbie would adopt all that. He could say, "Be careful out among the English." That'd be good. Robbie, you got to set your sights a little higher than just needing a girl. I mean, because, yeah. Well, that was a rather unremarkable game, wasn't it? Jeez. Oh, well. Hank Aaron, got to hear him take take one out of the park. Take one out of the park. There you go. Life is good. Big Clue. He says he's got a lasagna in the oven and enjoying some good friends and a ball game. Good stuff. And Steve Tate banging away and just he's gonna end up doing like every Negro Leaguer ever, and it'll probably be done by Thursday. The way he's going, jeez, crazy. Yeah, meeting a girl's a start, but you know, Robbie, there's you got to have some criteria. One hopes. So, Aaron Reed, you did do a great job the other night, buddy. So we're definitely going to do that again. Nice. So there we go. Aaron Reed now, he's got Hulk Hogan with him here. So we got to get Robbie married. Yeah, we do. Yeah, Robbie, there is that. You know, one thing too is if you do get married, that will cure your multiple project problem because you're not going to have time to have 20 projects running, pal. So enjoy these days. Big Clue says I've got a list of 250 to 300 for him to do if he runs out of names. I'm sure you do. I don't know if Steve is still here, but if he sees that, look out. So I hope everybody's doing well today. I'll just do it just real quick here after game kind of chat. I know that there's some championship game on in that other sport tonight. And I thought, oh well, why not? Why not just come on here and have Ernie earn a paycheck here for a moment? Big Clue says, if you get married, you'll still have 20 plus. They'll just be her projects. Yeah, there's the infamous honey-do list. The honey-do list. Honey, do this. Honey, do that. I can hear it all now, Robbie. Right? You're gonna get hooked up. You're gonna marry, and then you're gonna be coming in here when you can sneak in here, right? Get past your wife's surveillance system. You're gonna say, "Why did I want a woman so badly?" And then she's gonna yell, "Did you change the cat box, Robert? Robert!" So yeah, buddy. And you'll be making lots of projects, probably, Robbie, especially if you get yourself a Catholic girl. I can just see Robbie now changing the nappies on the kids and all that kind of stuff, and he'll have Ernie on in the background while, yeah. Now there are good women out there. There are, but you got to take the mick on Robbie a little bit, because you know, O'Neill Cruz. That'd be tough to turn down, though. Oh my God. Yeah, Robbie, you enjoy this time, buddy, because you know it is what it is. And Aaron Reed says, yeah, honey, do this, honey, do that, honey, my feet hurt, etc., etc. And then if you complain, man, women pull the "well, I gave birth" card. That is like the big one, right? I gave birth. You don't understand. So, you know, but they go off of that, but women statistically live longer. You know, they got all kinds of other good stuff going on. So, and Robbie, I'm going to tell you this. If any man ever, well, no, I'm not. No, never mind. I don't want to get on that road. We're gonna keep it all. We'll keep it nice and G-rated here. Anyhow, yeah, you get a good woman, Robbie. I get you an Orthodox girl. Orthodox girls are pretty cool, and they don't come with the guilt the Catholic girls do. So that is something. Whiskey or Big Clue says Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I gave birth. All they had to do was lay there 9 months earlier. Oh my God. Oh man. Okay, we're officially off the rails now. Like every woman in the world can't do that. Oh my God. All right, between Aaron and his impersonations and Big Clue and the bombs he drops, man, his comedy, Why the hell are we even bothering with this? Let's create a corporation and manage these two guys. Let's go out and make some big bucks. We'll get Cousin Ken to write up all the copy and everything like that. It would be amazing. It takes more talent to tie your shoes than it does to give birth. I know, man, but they pull that card. Oh my God, it's funny. And that's I mean, but the thing is if you come back with Big Clue's comeback and you say, yeah, well, all you had to do was lie there 9 months ago. You better sleep with one eye open for the next 2 years. So, I don't know. It's funny. I gave birth, you son of a bitch. Oh my God, when my ex was having our daughter, she like, so I mean, I had to be there with her and all that kind of stuff. And so women, man, women can get evil when they're in labor. I mean, even more evil than they are. And she squeezed my hand and she said, "He did this to me. I swear to you." Oh man, that was all over. She was like all lovey-dovey and stuff, but it was like I was seriously ready to call in an exorcist. It was pretty scary, dude. Which is why I just have one kid. I helped raise some stepkids. They were awesome, right? But boy, oh boy, I'm like, oh, I'm not going through this again. Practice is fun, but no, 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 no. Not going down that road. I mean, I thought her head was going to spit around and she was going to puke up some pea soup. Sorry, Big Clue. I don't want to be ruining your lasagna or anything, but I think the Exorcist reference is apt here. So, he says he has a great comeback story from an argument like that, but you can't put it on YouTube. We'll have to talk sometime. Oh, man. Phew. So Robbie, yep. We're not trying to dissuade you, buddy. Just it's I don't know. I mean, unless you land like a Mary Tyler Moore or something, but I don't know, pal. Or I don't know. Trying to think who would be perfect for you, Robbie. It'd be kind of hard to say. But yeah, meeting a girl. You're right, Robbie. Meeting a girl would be a great first step, and go from there, man. Go from there. And if she doesn't, so Robbie, did you ever see that? There, look at Aaron Reed. He's channeling his Irishman. He says, "Good crack, good crack." Yep. Yep. There you go. So Robbie, just remember. Did you ever see the movie A Bronx Tale? We brought this up in a chat a couple weeks ago. You have to do the Sunny test. And if she fails the Sunny test, as Sunny says in A Bronx Tale, dumpa, dumpa. So she has to pass the Sunny test. Yep. So, oh well, then there you go, Aaron. Then you're definitely channeling that by saying good crack, good crack. YouTube, we're not talking about drugs. We're talking about an Irish Gael's word that means good time, good story, whatever. Good crack. It's good crack. You have not seen A Bronx Tale, Robbie? It's an amazing movie. It truly, truly is. Um, so definitely worth a watch. But the Sunny test is important, and I actually did that. I've actually done that with women. I've done the Sunny test. In fact, the girl I'm seeing now, I did the Sunny test on her. And damn it, I walked around the back of the car, looked in the rearview window, and she reached over and unlocked the door. And we're doing pretty well. So the Sunny test does work. The last chick I was seeing, failed the Sunny test, and I should have bailed. I wasn't listening to Sunny's advice, I guess. Holy hell, Aaron, you're like a walking IRN. IRA, you know what I'm saying. UN. He says he's part Irish, Scottish, German, part English, and I think part Native American. Man, that's could cause some definite inner conflict right there. So let's see. If you're part Irish, that means you can get drunk. If you're Scottish, that means you're penurious. If you're German, you get bored and start world wars. If you're part English, well, step off a lip and all that, fancy a gem butty. and part Native American, which means you were screwed over royally. Dude, wow. There we go. Hey, at least be happy you're not part Italian like I am. So, because we haven't accepted the fact that the Western Roman Empire actually ended in the 5th century. You know, we're still holding on to that. And we go about telling people that we, hey, we started the Renaissance, which we did, but, holy hell, that was a long, long time ago. Watched a great documentary today on the world's. Everybody talks about the Russian mafia and that. I mean, those guys are bad, but watched a great documentary today on the Ndrangheta. And those Ndrangheta, there we go. My Italian gets like this when I'm tired. These guys are bad, bad, bad news. They make the Sicilian mafia look like a bunch of Girl Scouts. So check it out, man. The Ndrangheta, they are bad agents, man. They're in the Calabria, so down at the very toe of the boot of Italy, just right across from Sicily, and they are way worse than the Russian mob and anybody else. And the Sicilian mob, they're bad, bad news. Anyhow, just thought I'd put that in there. Big clue to quote Mel Gibson in Maverick about, I figured it was their fault anyway for being our land first before we got here, right? Aaron says he's so small, getting drunk is easy to do. Well, that's just because you don't have a lot of Irish in you. See, because when God created the Irish, no, never mind. I can't say that either. Damn it! All the things I want to say, I can't say on YouTube. Yeah, never mind. I better not even go there. Anyhow, Robbie, you should look for A Bronx Tale and see it. It's a great movie. It's, Robert De Niro, Chaz Palminteri, and it's brilliant. Chaz Palminteri wrote it actually originally as a one-man play, and it's just one of it's a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece. The music is awesome in it. You can tell that that was Robert De Niro's directorial debut, and you can tell he was heavily influenced by one of the greatest in the business, Martin Scorsese. I really recommend A Bronx Tale. It's great. Discord which to you, Aaron? What am I discording? Oh, about the Irish? I will. Yep. We need a Beatles Unplugged channel on another platform. So there is another platform called Rumble. And Rumble is really they're like anything goes over there, but all I would have to do is and let's not start a brouhaha, right? They would get a sense of my leftist tendencies, and that would be it. It would be like the other night's stream, but exponentially crazier. So, but yeah, Rumble's a more free platform, if you will. YouTube has created certainly the mushrooms after a rainstorm effect. Because there's another one too. It's called Locals, which I belong to Locals for a while because I'm deciding whether I want to stay Eastern Orthodox or go Byzantine Catholic. So I was kind of subscribed to an Orthodox channel on Locals and a Byzantine Catholic channel on Locals, and kind of trying to figure it all out. So, but there are, Robbie. Yep, there definitely are. Big clues. He's in tears over here. Thursday night was a blast. To live for it again. Yeah, definitely, Aaron. We'll do probably, maybe, depends. Possibly tomorrow night. If not, Wednesday is going to be like an. I can say this, an orgy of baseball, because I'm off Wednesday. So we'll see how it all goes. JT Dutch, holy man. We were just talking about JT Dutch and some of the great baseball minds in the channel, and I said, man, he hasn't been around in ages, and he pops in. This is it's almost like the Transfiguration. Big clue, I know you're relating, right? It's the Transfiguration. JT Dutch says, hey, Beatles, hope you're doing well. Agree with you 100% on your stance the other day. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. JT Dutch, you guys that don't know him, so I don't know, if Aaron, you don't know JT Dutch, or This guy is super, super, super um, just smart person, like everybody else in this channel. And this guy also, his love for baseball is amazing, and it's such a rare treat to have JT Dutch coming into the ballpark with us in our room of heresies and everything else that we do. Big Clue knows JT Dutch. So that's awesome. Yeah, well, yeah, Robbie, the September call-ups are probably not going to be a thing. I was looking at the schedule, and there's so few games left. I don't think it's going to make a difference. Well, I think we're going to allow Clinton to keep Paul Wainer just for giggles. But yeah, it's not going to be. I don't think we're going to do them after all. Because I could let the AI pick everybody, but for the amount of games left in the Ned McGreevy League, it's really not worth it. So, Big Clue says he's getting better all the time. Channeling a little Beatles there. JT Dutch, isn't that the guy who played as the Hawks in a Japanese version of the Clutch Hitter arcade game? We'll have to find out, but seriously, JT Dutch is he's just awesome, and it is truly a rare treat to see him popping around the channel. So good stuff. JT Dutch says to Aaron, "Yep, that was indeed he. You're treating him well. Good, 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 good." Robbie went away. I don't know where he went. Robbie. Oh, Robbie Wartburg. Robbie, we're gonna do this. Those decade teams I've been playing Action PC Baseball. I am seriously gonna name them after heresies. All the team names. So it's gonna be great. Of course, you know I was going for alliteration. We're gonna have to go with phonemic alliteration for the Nantucket Gnostics. You know, or what have you, because I can't think of any city name that begins with GN and has the, N sound. So, there we go. So any heresies that you think would be great as team nicknames, do submit them. I'm going to start maybe Wednesday, beginning to build the all-time World Baseball Classic, so that can come on the heels of the Ned McGreevy League once it ends. So get ready for that madness. Big Clue says that we got a bromance going on here. Big Clue saying that JT is his favorite Dodger fan, and Big Clue is his favorite Red Legs fan. And so Big Clue and I kind of bonding not over heresies, but also the fact that our respective teams suck right now. So Reds and Bucs. Yeah, it's good to have Dodgers and Reds having mutual respect. Two storied franchises, to be sure. JT Dutch, you're not a member of our Discord. I wish you were. You can certainly join. But I don't know if you caught it on YouTube. There's a great Brooklyn Dodgers documentary that I think you would like called The Ghosts of Flatbush that I think you would really, really like. It's absolutely just fantastic. And I want to create a league called We Loathe Robert Moses. So good stuff. The Ghosts of Flatbush. All these years, Walter O'Malley wanted to keep him in Brooklyn. Or all those years, I should say. So Robbie, you're still here. Robbie did a little mini tutorial last night with Baseball for Windows. So Baseball for Windows still has it, where you can have backdrops to things like the League Manager tool, Advanced Draft, and all that kind of stuff. With 5.75, they weren't there. It used to be easy, but anyhow, Robbie shows you how to put in those little backdrop pictures. So for the few Baseball for Windows players out there that want a little window dressing for a few minutes, or when you're creating seasons, teams, whatever, check out Robbie's tutorial. He's also doing 1914 Federal League. We're finishing up Ned McGreevy. Cousin Ken is ramping up the Albert Goodwill Spalding 1888 Tour of the World with 2 barnstorming teams. We're going to be doing a World Baseball Classic all time. Steve Tate working really hard in Negro Leagues. So during Black History Month in February, we will have an East-West All-Star game at Comiskey. And then later on in the year, we will actually have a Negro Leagues. I don't know if it's going to be a tournament or a season yet. So we got some cool stuff coming up, baseball-wise in the channel. And then I'm creating another non-baseball related channel that's pretty much every other damn thing. So, except accountancy and proctology. I will not be covering those subjects. So, Robbie Wartburg. Coming soon, he says, will be an inside look at an earlier version of Baseball Windows for 4.0. If Robbie does that, you guys ought to tune in. And Robbie, I would suggest do that as an interactive stream like this. That part that Ernie talks about the great announcers and stuff like that is gold. You can't beat it with a stick, buddy. It's good. Big Clue says 5 World Series each in at least 30 years since our last championship. Yep. So Dodgers and Reds. Feeling a bit of pain there too. Great franchises, great franchises certainly. And yeah. Big Clue says, Robbie, what's the most recent baseball window version, and how many years has it been? Robbie, since you like to talk about baseball for Windows, why don't you go ahead and clue in Big Clue? I mean, I could, but you're the evangelist for this game, so go for it, man. Go for it, man. Need Aaron on here to say in his Randy Savage voice to go for it, man. But we'll have Aaron save that up for the next time we're on. So guys, anybody else would like to jump on the mic too and do a simulcast? Certainly welcome. Aaron kind of I'm thankful to him for resurrecting that. We were doing that for a while back in the past. We had Clee Baseball Fan 879 on here. Ken Castro was on with us. Sports Time Machine. So, but Aaron Reed, you definitely, that was a grand slam the other night. That was hilarious. You had World's Worst Gamer in stitches. It was good stuff. Robbie, could you do me a favor, please? And could you put a link to the Discord in the chat for JT Dutch? It's a fun place, JT Dutch. We're just, it's in there, post baseball related stuff, whatever. If you know any chicks that would like to go out with Robbie Wartburg, anything like that, it's all good. Thank you. Baseball for I'll help Robbie out. Baseball for Windows. Actually, this is version 5.75. There was a 1.0 that didn't have it wasn't Broadcast Blast yet. That came about, I think, it was 3.0. But then when they added in Ernie Harwell, there's a brilliant sort of monologue type thing where Ernie talks about the great broadcasters, and you can select them all. So I think he has Red Barber on there and Rosie Rosewell, the greats. And it's just pure. It's only about 25 minutes worth of audio. But hearing Ernie talk about the great announcers, just absolutely awesome stuff. And on that image that you have, Robbie, it should be on there if they included the whole ISO. If not, I'll figure out a way to do it from mine because I have a 5.0 actual disc. So, yep, there we go. Link to the Discord. Thanks, Robbie. Robbie does a lot of our heavy lifting around here. Yeah, the 2020 season was it was shite. What was the point of it? I don't even know. The only reason I own that season is because completionist. But I will never play the 2020 season. Look under audio. I can't remember exactly where it is, Robbie, but it's there. If you have a 4.0 and they included everything, that will be in there. That's been in there since 3.0. So, yep. Point was that the owners wanted some TV dollars. Yeah, I think that's about it. But I can tell you that in 2020, I watched a half inning of baseball. That was it. I'm like, this is crazy. So, We'll have a little bit of return to normalcy, but JT, Big Clue's been coming up with some really, really brilliant ideas to actually fix up the game. Wouldn't be that hard, but the problem is that the commissioner, the so-called commissioner, and the team owners aren't going to go for them. But we're going to sick them on Rob Manfred anyhow and see what happens. Don't get him started about the 2020 season. They should have just, you know what? We're canceled. We're canceled. That was such a joke. Such a joke. But I have some trepidation. And Big Clue brought up something earlier in the chat that that we hadn't really mentioned about all the anomalies coming up in the 2023 season. Is that offense is going to skyrocket? It really is. He used the term, of course, significant increase, but I think it's going to skyrocket. Bigger bases. God, they're going to turn it into T-ball pretty soon. And pitch clock and the robo umpires calling balls and strikes in the minors. You guys know that's coming to the major leagues. They're just going to iron out the kink down in the bush leagues, and then look out. I don't know if that's going to be in the next CBA or whatever, but it's coming. And that's going to suck. And I hope every pitcher aims at the son of a bitch, although it's not going to be something that's going to be on the field, unfortunately. I don't think it's in 5.75, Robbie. It is looking more like a more like a bush league, JT. I couldn't agree with you more. And the owners are never going to actually give a commissioner that has any power anymore. So, not that Kennesaw Mountain Landis was a paragon of virtue, but he except for putting the kibosh on integration in baseball. I mean, Landis did some good things for baseball. I bet, Landis was a bit of a showboat judge, found in favor of the Major League in the Federal League antitrust suit. And to this day, baseball is still the only monopoly in America. It's the only protected monopoly. No other sport enjoys that privilege. Baseball still enjoys it. So, yeah, I guess antitrust laws. I wonder if that case was ever retried in court, whether that antitrust exemption for baseball would be defeated in the courts. So, I don't know. It might not be a bad thing, actually. As much as I'm a baseball traditionalist, maybe the antitrust exemption needs to go away in the grand old game. I don't know. All I know is at least we got a CBA for a few years, so that was torture. That was torture, man. Last year, and waiting, and then you had the Mets, right? The Mets, were they going to be the holdouts? Were they going to do it? It was like, come on, are we going to have baseball season? And we did, at least. So, I don't know. You know what? The more and more I complain about it, though, I still love baseball. I'm just afraid that it's, in another 5 years, it's not going to be baseball anymore. So, I mean, look at the stats. They're disappearing. Complete games. So many more. Quality starts now in complete games, so a guy goes 6 innings. And that's a good thing. And a complete game, God. So JT Dutch says that's what got the owners to play ball in 2021. Just have someone from the federal government threaten to revoke their antitrust exemption. Oh yeah, they don't want to lose that, that's for sure. They don't. But I think that's going to happen. I really, really do. Because, so the other 3 major team sports in the United States, right, they're subject to those laws. And I think at some point, it may be somebody from F-ball, basketball, hockey, or maybe a sort of cabal of the 3 coming together and say, we're challenging this. How does baseball, what precedent really is there for baseball to have a monopoly, a legal monopoly? Nobody else, right? I mean, you go back to when the big trusts were broken up and stuff like that in the progressive era, right, in the United States history. Standard Oil, how many more, right? And yet baseball was exempt. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Crazy stuff. I'm trained in legal research. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know what legal ramifications would be involved or what processes would have to take place. But I would guess that with the current uh, with the current makeup of the United States Supreme Court, that antitrust exemption could be in trouble. Because what is the court of 6-3 now? So, um, but again, I don't even think I would. I don't even see the liberals on the court allowing that to exist. So I think it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. If the government threatens to remove that exemption, all they have to say is jump in, and Major League Baseball will respond. Right? They'll have to say is jump, and Major League Baseball will respond with how high. Yep. 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 I mean, and that has been a boon for baseball. I know it's something that we baseball fans don't really talk a lot about. We probably don't even think, probably like every day wouldn't even think about it. It's like there is one entity in America that is exempt, and that has been a great thing for baseball. I don't know if it's been such a great thing for the fans, but certainly has been for the national pastime. Anyhow, only because, and out of respect to folks here, that I know that there are some F-ball fans. Who are your picks for the Super Bowl this year? Who, of course, I'm not going to watch it, but who is it? Is the AFC thing over and tonight's the NFC or something? I know that we're getting down to what isn't the Super Bowl like in 2 weeks or something like that? It's usually like what, middle of February or something. In which case we'll be doing baseball stuff that night anyhow. Yep, Federal League. Yep, and Landis made the decision. Exactly. And the Federal League with that decision was actually delayed. That I think Landis kind of allowed that to languish in the courts. Landis was cunning. He was very cunning. And imagine, so you're this federal judge, and the owners of Major League Baseball come to you and say you have complete power. We can't fire you. You pretty much have carte blanche. And Landis definitely did that. And what was his first act? He kicked out the 8 Black Sox players, which still I feel bad for Joe Jackson, but the other 7 guys. And what was Mullen thinking? God, the dude was a utility player. What did he get? What did he play, like 20 some games for the White Sox that entire season? Landis was smart. He knew what he was doing. And could have had a great legacy. Landis had the chance to get rid of segregation in baseball, and he said no. And then it was thanks to Happy Chandler, right? Who came along from the South, and he said if a boy can, and again, YouTube, forgive me, this is history. Says if a colored boy can make it in Germany, he could certainly make it in Major League Baseball. And that was the irony, wasn't it? You had people of color fighting racism in Germany, and yet couldn't drink out of the same water fountains here in America. And I just, and the resistance still, even with that obvious fact. But at least it's over now, thanks to Steve Tate, as he's laboring night and day, I think, and normalizing these major league players using those major league equivalencies sent to him by Big Clue. We're finally going to get to see how these players would have performed. Maybe we can, some of the conjecture goes away. I think it's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. Happy Chandler, governor of Aaron Reed's, yeah, from Kentucky. Landis banning the Black Sox is something had to be done. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. So the Throw Bowl is next week. Oh, okay. That's the. So do they do? Okay, I used to. So my minuscule knowledge of F ball used to be I thought that the Throw Bowl was after the Super Bowl, but okay, I guess they changed that up now. Doesn't matter. Whatever night the Super Bowl is, unless, in fact, I'm gonna like call off work that next day. Every year, do something baseball related, because next day it's usually pitchers and catchers report unless there's a lockout or a strike. So yeah, it used to be, says Aaron and JT Dutch. All right, well, thank you. That means I know a little bit about F ball. Probably all I want to know. But I know that you guys. But anyhow, I'm still waiting. Who's your picks? I know there's a couple F ball fans. Robbie Wartburg's an F ball fan, and you're not going to get banned for being an F ball fan. I'm just curious who you guys are picking. I don't even know who's in the. Do you even call it a race in F ball? So used to the pennant race. I don't even know if they call them races. JT Dutch says, remember the Super Bowl was being, and he remembers the Super Bowl being played in early January. The season dragged on to late February for the Birds, really. So Steve Tate going for the Detroit Lions. Are they actually in it? Because I don't know. This is how stupid I am. Big Clue is coming from a cultural Marxist perspective, I suppose. I presume as a so-called left-wing radical, you would promote baseball's labor issues, not its racial issues, as its greatest sin. Actually, no, you would be wrong, my friend. And I know that I get the LOL. It's definitely its racial issues that was. I mean, historically, but yeah. I mean, I'm not that. I am socialist. I am. I'm right out in the open here. I am a socialist. And the reason I'm registered as Democrat so I can vote in the primaries, but I am a socialist. So I made a big move through my life, dude. I used to be a libertarian. And then I started thinking, okay, I could be a libertarian as far as small government, but I found myself more and more left-leaning in terms of some social issues. And then after living in two democratic socialist countries, I decided, damn, this works, right? There's no homeless people here. There's free public, free public education, free public transportation, and people still have freedom of speech. But anyhow, I don't want to get political because we know what happened last time. So Steve Tate pulling for the Lions, are they actually in it or whatever? No, we would never ban anybody for being an F-ball fan. Ridicule them certainly, but ban, we don't. So come on. All right, so Steve's, again, and I don't know, are you going to make me go to the NFL site and see if those guys are actually in it? Aaron Reed wants the Bengals of Cincinnati to go back and win it all this year. See, I know where some of the teams are from. Robbie Wartburg says, I will find that. Oh, Robbie's still doing something else. All right. Robbie, while we got your attention. Okay, okay, Detroit did not make the playoffs. Thank you, and welcome in, Random Human 19. Steve Tate says the Bengals or Chiefs against the Eagles. So correct me if I'm wrong. Was it the Kansas City Chiefs who were in the very first Super Bowl? And wasn't that back in the days when they played it in cold places like Green Bay and stuff like that? And so Chief State was his Super Bowl was watching the Cowboys get eliminated, and he says sorry to Robbie for that. And so Big Clue says his family are Bengals fans. No surprise, right? His wife's family are Eagles fans, and his ex-wife's family are Chiefs fans. Chiefs were beaten in Super Bowl won by the Green Bay Packers. That was Vince Lombardi, who's played in Los Angeles. Yeah, I know. I just thought I'm trying to be a nice guy, Big Clue, because I know that there's F-ball fans in here, and I just thought I'd give them a little bit of love, but then we shall certainly now declare, as they would say in the ancient church, anathema. You got to check that out, Big Clue. By the way, if you've ever seen like this Orthodox service that anathematizes everything, it's intense. It is intense. You got all these bishops calling everything anathema, including the AC/DC, I should say. So So, Robbie, because you're a fan of every sport that ever existed, and this will be my last F-ball question, who are your picks for the Super Bowl? And and by the way, I'm saying Super Bowl because apparently the NFL did something like a dick move. You're not allowed to actually use that word. It's like trademarked or something now, so I can't get busted for saying Super Bowl. Haha. Get busted for everything else, my little channel. Random Human says that Super Bowl one was Green Bay versus Kansas City when the AFL still exists as its own leagues, played in Los Angeles at the Coliseum. All things to all people, isn't that what sent Bob Evans down the drain when they started dinner, not just breakfast? Nice. All right, Robert Wartburg says it's Kansas City and Philadelphia. All right, there we go. Big Clue says true stories of Beatles eternally, but I was fired as a youth pastor because of playing D&D. I love that story that you told. That is a great story. You had related that one night in chat, and feel free to relate it anytime you want because I love it. I love it. See, that's one thing that was cool in the Orthodox Church, right? So we had kids bringing in their Magic the Gathering decks, and the priest came over and say, "Yeah, it looks fun. Go ahead, play." So it was all good. I'm like, okay, these guys are right with D&D and Magic the Gathering. Maybe I'll be Orthodox. That wasn't the reason I became Eastern Orthodox, but I thought it was cool. And the fact that, like the Catholics, were huge Tolkien fans. In fact, for summer, like, we don't call it Bible camp. We would do like the entire summer. So like I know that like for like a lot of Protestant churches, you do like a week of Bible school. We do a whole summer study, and one year we did the Lord of the Rings. It was for high school students, and like so seniors going into college, and we did all three books because it's not a trilogy. So we did all three parts of the Lord of the Rings, and it was really super rewarding from a Christian perspective because J.R.R. Tolkien was an extremely devout Catholic and called it his great Catholic work, and so we examined it from that viewpoint. So it was good stuff. But at the end of the day, the ancient heresies are what it's all about, baby. GT Dutch said my parents thought D&D was related to devil worship. No kidding. Steve Tate says just found out you can select a player in action to get booed on the road. Never knew that. Oh, that's cool. What hasn't Dave Cook put in the game? God only knows, right? What hasn't he put in there? Well, I have a couple candidates I would get booed on the road. That's for sure. Barry Bonds. Cough, cough, Barry Bonds. Cough, Barry Bonds. I don't know. Who else would be on the boo list, maybe? Albert Bell? Vince Coleman, after he threw firecrackers into the stands. He would be a good boo candidate. Reggie Jackson is a good one. Robbie, you got a bromance with Ernie. MV, welcome in, buddy. Game was over a while ago. We're gonna stop before 2 hours, but welcome in, my friend. Manchester, Cincinnati's trying to keep pace with you, but you guys won last night. Or no, the other night. We didn't play McGreevy last night, so you're still in first place. You and I said Cincinnati. I'm sorry. You and Cleveland are both on 3-game winning streaks, so Cleveland's keeping pace with you. Yeah, baseball for Windows is Robbie's bride, I think. Well, if Dave Cook, Robbie, can figure out a way to put Ernie Harwell in the game, they're going to have to rewrite the New Testament. Since, he's sort of like, life challenged, as it were. To quote Monty Python, pushing up the daisies, all that kind of stuff, whatever. All those things that John Cleese says about, and the parrot sketch. Yeah, that Suicide Squeeze was awesome. That's right, you did the Suicide Squeeze. That was cool. First time anybody tried that in the league with a suicide, because somebody tried it, but it was a safety squeeze. Ken Castro, the only one to pull out, try a double steal, and it worked. So we had some fun. But it's almost over, lads. It's almost over. So, MV introduced you to JT Dutch. Don't know if you know him. Brilliant baseball fan, big Dodgers fan. JT Dutch knows his baseball knowledge is super impressive, and also major history geek as well, which in my book, that's a 12 out of 10 right there. So MV, say hi to JT Dutch, and JT Dutch to MV. Arnold Hunter is at the ballpark. Good to see you, Arnold. Good to see you. Steve Tate getting excited there that Arnold is in the asylum tonight, and MV saying hello to JT Dutch. JT Dutch, good guy. MV. He doesn't come around a lot, but when he does, it's always a treat. So good stuff. Good stuff. Do you remember JT Dutch? What was it? We were having a great discussion one day about shortstops, and you made a great case for Vern Stevens. I don't know if you remember that or not. That was back in 2020, and that was I was just super impressed with your case for Vern Stevens. Good stuff. On other things you said too, but that Vern Stevens argument was absolutely compelling. Really good stuff. So, yeah, that was a great one, man. Um, so yeah, Aaron Reed will be joining us on a broadcast again. MV has expressed interested. He was underrated. Yep, and you presented a strong case for that. MV has talked about wanting to do. Come on, so we just I gotta that's got to be a daytime thing. So, I just had an Ernie Harwell game on, and then just decided to talk. That's it. We're not going to do the September call-ups for a couple reasons. MV, there's not that many games left. We're almost done, and it's really not going to make any difference. And to try to get all the other 9 managers in here at the same time, we haven't been able to do that all season. So I think we're just going to skip those and let the McGreevy League play out as it is. But we'll let Clinton Parks keep Paul Wayner on his team, just so he can maybe see if Wayner can play spoiler a little bit. Yep. Like Ernest, you had him at Vern. Nice. Big clue. Big clue hitting us up here with some Jim Varney. Some Jim Varney. Pete Rose got a ton of Boo Burrs in the roads also. Yeah, Rose is a good one. So Steve's new project is going to be setting up the Boo for players. He was. And who else were we talking about last night that's not in the Hall of Fame? Sherry McGee. But damn it, we can have Harold Baines in there. I'll never meet Harold Baines, and he'll never know I exist, so I can say that. He was a very good player, Harold Baines, but wow. Sherry McGee was a better player. Vern Stevens, better player. Then again, so is Nomar Garciaparra. So is Tulo. So is Fergosi. Lots of great shortstops who belong, but don't because they only did it for a decade. Yeah. Somebody was making the case, and it didn't take off in the chat last night, so I will ask you, erudite scholars here, do you guys think Omar Vizquel belongs in the Hall of Fame? Yeah. Random Human 19 says Harold Baines had a Hall of Fame quality beard, not stats or talent. So Vizquel, that seems to be I see that question about Vizquel in the Hall of Fame in like all kinds of baseball groups that I belong to. JT Dutch passing judgment with the alacrity of Torquemada. He says absolutely not. So 1 vote against Omar. Indians fans are going to vote yes, of course. I mean, Just like Pirates fans voted for Maz. And I know MV's going to get started on Maz. No, Random Human says no on Vizquel, but he also doesn't think. Ooh, Random Human want to stir up some stuff here. That's cool. He doesn't think Ozzie Smith should be in. Big Clue says Vizquel's a second-rate candidate. His advocate's biggest argument for him was completely false. He was not almost Ozzie Smith. Sans the longevity, Vizquel wouldn't have gotten more than 5% of his first try. Ozzie was significantly better, says JT Dutch and Vizquel, offensively and defensively. Kind of like Bill Mazeroski. Clue's absolutely right, says JT Dutch. JT Dutch. Well, we've settled that now. So, is Vizquel now? Isn't he? Isn't that like going to be veterans? Isn't he going to be Veterans Committee fodder now if it happens? I forget when Vizquel retired, so can't remember. And I don't even know how the Veterans Committee do. They even? I don't even know what they do anymore. Carlos Yaz in here. He says hi to everyone. Greetings, salutation, Carlos. Big Clue says, by the way, the defensive numbers, for those who bother to look, he maybe deserved 1-2 max of those gold gloves. Easily the most undeserved gold glove awards of anyone in history. Well, I guess we solved the Vizquel issue. We don't have anything else to talk about now. Vizquel probably for defense a bit like Ozzie has a case. But he wasn't a patch on Ozzie defensively, really. I mean, Vizquel's a good player. I mean, even right, if you make it to the major leagues, that says a lot about your athleticism. To make it, it's what 0.5%, right? If you start at rookie league ball, I think it's 0.5% actually make it to the show, and only a percentage of those players actually stay. Baseball's the most difficult sport. So, I mean, obviously Vizquel, damn fine athlete to make it to the show. Ozzie had 13 gold gloves. All right, we've settled Vizquel. Anybody else we want to settle while we're at it that is in and shouldn't be, or isn't in and should be? I'm still going to make a case for Sherry McGee. I really think he should be in. I really think he should be in. Is he among... Right, so my friend Alexander Raffini, we were talking about this one night just on a phone call, and he thinks of tiers of Hall of Famers, and I kind of like that approach. Yeah, Lou Whitaker should definitely be in. And Random Human 19 says Scott Rowland shouldn't be. I don't know why Sweet Lou's not in. There's some politicking going on there. It's sort of like in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Moody Blues had to wait until 2016 or 2017. And the Moody Blues actually even exceeded some of the Hall's criteria and actually even exceeded a few of the things. Of course, the Beatles were, obviously you were going to elect them. But I did a comparison with the Moody Blues and the Beatles, and why the Moody Blues had to wait so long to get in, I think, is down to one person, Jan Venner, who is an absolute jerk-off. But back to baseball. Carlos Yaz says Whitaker is, when Trammell was inducted, he was brought up by many. Omar has four. Oh, okay, so Vizquel, Big Clue says, has 4 more tries with the Baseball Writers Association of America and is eligible for committee first time in 2029, unless they change it before the rules before then. Yeah, Lou Whitaker needs to be in, man. I definitely agree. Bobby Grich, I don't know, man. Maybe not. I got to look into Grich a little bit more. All I know, the main thing I know about the Orioles are 3 things. They used to be the St. Louis Browns, and the Pirates beat. Oh no, I know a couple of things. So a few things. Pirates beat them twice in the World Series, and was it 1987 or 88 that they had that horrid 0-29 start for the Orioles? But they had Boog Powell. He was awesome. So not at that time, but you had Boog Powell. Gritch riding the fence for Carlos Yaz. 0-21. Thank you, JT Dutch. 0-21 start. Baltimore had a pretty good team this past season. It was kind of nice to see them do something. I didn't get down to see a game. Where I live right now, I can see the Phillies, Nats, and Orioles. They're all like within an hour or so, which is pretty nice. Hour to hour and 15 minutes. So, and then plus have the have a lot of minor league baseball. There's a lot of baseball around the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, from the two major league clubs all the way down. We have every level down to short season A. It's a lot of baseball in Pennsylvania. I'll give it that. It's all over the place, man. Holy moly. In fact, in the county in which I live, we have a minor league club. There's a minor league club in the county directly to the east and directly to the west. We have a minor league club in State College, Pennsylvania, or University Park, since the ballpark, which is really nice, is actually right next to Beaver Stadium. Altoona, Pennsylvania, which is toward the west, they have the Altoona Curve. Yeah, there's a lot of baseball. Williamsport. So Williamsport, that little ball field they have up there, and its name escapes me right now. Babe Ruth hit a ball out of there in an exhibition league. Bowman Field, that's it, in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Bowman Field. Don Baylor, like Carlos Yaz saying, or Carlos Yaz, says he's like Don Baylor, had that great 1979 season. Well, this is part of the hot stove league, man, because the Hall of Fame that's definitely a tricky subject. It's always fun for the controversy. Who should be in, who shouldn't be in. But as I was saying about Alex Raffini's talking about tears, because I was saying, man, I can't. It's hard for me to say the name Bill Mazeroski in the same breath as George Sisler, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, DiMaggio. Right? Those guys are the elite. Walter Johnson, Christy Mathewson. But then Harold Baines is in that same club, that Hall of Fame club, that Harold Baines is no Rogers Hornsby or what have you. So Mike Trout, he'll be in. Ichiro will be in. I think Aaron Judge will be in. I don't know. Mike Trout is a definite first ballot Hall of Famer, though. I don't think anybody would argue that. I really don't. I think, and it's not like I have this thing about Mike Trout, but I mean he's a damn fine player, and I think even a upper echelon Hall of Famer Mike Trout. Shohei Ohtani, if he can keep going. So I heard today Ohtani might be leaving the Angels. Have you guys heard that? Big Clue says, I can't even say Maz in the same breath as Del Pratt, Lonnie Fry, and Buddy Meyer. Right? Oh, Don Baylor passed away. Yeah, may his memory be eternal. Okay, Shippensburg, or Shittensburg as we call it around here. Not that I like this part of the Commonwealth, but it's a possibility if the Angels don't improve, they'll lose Ohtani. Yeah, that's gonna be huge. You got to hold on to somebody like Shohei Ohtani. The Angels have to do what they can. You got to build around that guy. You really do. I mean, damn, he's just a hell of a pitcher, and I mean, wow. So after next summer, you know what though? The Angels. Well, he goes to free agency. Yeah. So if the Angels can't do that, what do they do? Do they sell him for a crap ton of? If you're the Angels, what do you do? If your farm system isn't looking strong, you can't make some good off-season moves. Do you unload Ohtani rather than wait till he goes to free agency? What do you think? Big Clue says Moreno embarrassed himself by selling the team and not finding a buyer at the price he expected. So, all right, well, since we're talking about Ohtani, where do you guys think Ohtani would go? Who do you think is going to try to snap him up? What do you do if you're the Angels? Find a way to win, period, right? Yeah. Random Human 19 says Sheffield, Dale Murphy, Steve Garvey, Stibe, Dick Allen, Frank White are all, are all I'd put in as they were top guys for the eras they played. Big Clue says the Angels need to rebuild. They needed to rebuild for half a dozen years, but ownership won't let them do it. They won't get better until he's gone. Big Clue thinks Ohtani will go with the Dodgers. Well, Dodgers could definitely afford him, that's for sure. Dodgers offseason this winter was designed to make room for Ohtani next year. JT Dutch, big Dodgers fan, saying, we'll see. If Los Angeles gets Shohei Ohtani, that would be crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, the smaller market teams aren't going to be able to get Ohtani. We would have to, you imagine Pittsburgh, Cincinnati trying to angle for Shohei Ohtani. That's just not going to happen. I mean, come on, Andrew McCutchen, who begged to stay in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh let him go, idiots, and he's coming back to do his final year in Pittsburgh. And to close it out. That's the only way we would ever get Shohei Ohtani. We had Shawan Dunston for I think, what was that weird trade? Dunston was a Pirate for like an hour, and then he was gone. San Diego and San Francisco, yeah. I think he's going to stay on the West Coast. I think he will. San Francisco could certainly use him. Which I don't know how happy it's going to make you Dodgers fans, though, if they add Ohtani into the mix. Notice we tread lightly here when we're talking to a Dodgers fan about the guys up north. We'll call them the guys up north for you, JT Dutch. That club up north, and its weak sibling across the bay. He says, JT Dutch says he'll be sad if Ohtani leaves the Angels, and he's not an Angels fan. Yeah, Dale Murphy was a damn good player. I don't know if he's Hall of Fame, but Dale Murphy. I always liked Dale Murphy. Always liked him. He says he remembered when he thought Bob Horner might be better than Dale Murphy. Bob Horner was a pretty good player. Dale Murphy, I thought, was very good. Yep, Hall of very good, Dale Murphy. So notice we're not even not talking about the PED guys. I don't think we should open that Pandora's box. Except to say that some people have opined that when you get like the kids, right, they're not going to remember that era. That some of these kids are going to become Baseball Writers Association of America. It's probably when the PED guys are going to get in. So I don't know. I just know, having the advantage of seeing Bonds in Pittsburgh, and then he gets to those guys up north, and within 2 years he looks like King Kong. You guys look back at Bonds when he was playing for Pittsburgh, and he had that kind of build, that kind of very lithe build, and that quick bat and speed, and looked like a human being, man. Big Clue says Sherry McGee is the best dead ball era player not already in. Agree. Preaching to the choir there, my Pelagian friend. JT Dutch says the 1982 MVP I think should have been Gary Carter. May his memory be eternal. Not Dale Murphy, but Murphy won it because the Braves won the division, and plus leading the league in runs batted in. Yeah, all we have in Pittsburgh right now really that we have to build around is O'Neill Cruz. And if that kid gets some seasoning and we can hold on to him, that kid could have a great career. Jesus, the arm on O'Neal Cruz, and he's fast. I mean, he strikes out too much, but when he connects, he can hit for power. Potential 5 tools there in O'Neal Cruz. Robbie Wertberg says if the PED guys start getting in, they need to be the nail to Pete Rose in. Rose will, I think Shoeless Joe Jackson will eventually get in. Jimmy Sheckard. Jimmy Sheckard, Hall of Fame. I think Sheckard's a close call. Carlos says Pete Rose should be in. Well, if Rose is in, he doesn't get in before Shoeless Joe Jackson. I'll put it that way. If Shoeless Joe Jackson makes the Hall of Fame, then I'm okay with Pete Rose being in. Live and athletic. So what? I had one of those before I got married too, says Big Clue. O'Neal Cruz's big problem is so much his strikeouts but lack of walks. Just needs to learn to be more selective. Yeah, it does mean that you did the Pelagian educational doctrine, Big Clue. It certainly does. Big Clue anticipating. So, Griffey Jr., if he hadn't had injuries and things like that, do you guys think that Griffey Jr. actually could have been the legit home run king? Opinions? Rose isn't going to live to see it. I think you're right about that. And V says, I think because Giamatti dies right after the Pete Rose thing, I don't think Rose gets in as it would dishonor Giamatti. Giamatti gave him every chance. Giamatti gave Rose a chance to kind of clean up his image, stop all the boasting and all the crap. And I mean, Giamatti this was an urbane, intelligent, right? This is a man of the world, and Giamatti, you know. I liked Giamatti. I don't know if I'm in a minority there, but I like Giamatti a lot. Smart man. Robbie Wartberg says, yeah, if there's a refusal to let Shoeless Joe or Pete Rose in, then no PED. Yep. They've already put in a PE guy. That's true. The ship has sailed, indeed. But it's the big kahunas that I'm thinking of, JT, the real big guys. But I don't know. Barry Bonds is the legit home run king. Sorry, Big Clue says. No one else hit no one hit those home runs for him. And no, he says no to Griffey Jr., although he may have been close. Okay. Valid opinion, certainly. Yeah, he is. And that's why I brought him up, Carlos. Carlos saying that Griffey Jr. is sadly a what-if case. Awesome talent. Incredible bat speed from the kid, huh? Jeez. Crazy. JT Dutch says Bonds is out because he was mean to the writers, and those writers have access to grind. But when those writers are gone and the new generation comes up, Bonds is going to get in at some point. He may not, whether he'll live to see it or not, he will get in, though, I think. Griffey did have a beautiful swing. He really did. Well, no, but here's the thing, Robbie. Here's why I would say this. I saw Bonds in Pittsburgh before he was doing that stuff, and Bonds could hit the ball a ton. He could hit. He was fast. So, you know, Bonds. My sad thing about Barry Bonds is Barry Bonds would have been Hall of Fame with. He didn't need those. He didn't need those PEDs. He didn't need it. Bonds was a hell of a hitter, man. I mean, got to see him as a rookie, you know, and seeing those years that he played with the Bucs. Barry Bonds, except in the 1990 playoffs, was a fine player. He really great player. You knew Barry Bonds was destined to be a great player. There was no doubt. No doubt. MV says, I think the PED guys have enough chance of getting in as Rose, Buck Weaver, and Shoeless Joe in the next 3. So Will the Thrill for Big Clue says the best swing he ever saw was Will the Thrill. Seeing more support for A-Rod since he played in New York. I'm not an Alex Rodriguez fan. Not at all. Bonds is the best player JT Dutch ever saw and arguably the best player of all time. I don't know. I mean, Babe Ruth would say hold my beer because remember he was a superb pitcher. So I don't know JT Dutch with respect that I would agree with you as the best player of all time because Babe Ruth kind of in the mix there, sort of. I think so. Maybe is Bonds second? I don't know. I mean, I'll say something controversial. I said it the United Night in a Stream. I think Wagner was a greater player than Ty Cobb. And not just because Wagner's my favorite player. Ruth played in a league with whites only, albeit not his fault, says JT Dutch. Big Clue says, by the way, Pirates fans would know that Bonds was already targeted by the press as a villain long before PEDs. Ask Tom Verdouchebag. But again, I mean, Walter Johnson played in a league with whites only. But again, my friend, I ask you, does that diminish Walter Johnson and Mathewson and those guys and Waddell? Wagner was an amazing player. Yeah, he doesn't have to take a backseat to anyone. We can agree on that. Whew. God. Retires in 1917 and still considered the greatest shortstop of all time and one of the greatest of all time. Retires in the same year the United States enters the First World War. But yet, as I told guys in the chat, I got into a heated argument in a couple different places where there was somebody making the case that Ozzie Smith was a greater shortstop than Hannes Wagner. And I'm like, Ozzie wasn't even as great a shortstop as Archie Vaughan, but okay. MV says he thinks that Alex Rodriguez gets in and he does the others get in. That he thinks Rodriguez has managed him as well since retiring. For example, A-Rod was the face of Major League Baseball in the United Kingdom when the Sox and Yankees played at Wembley. Yeah, you're right. I mean, viewing them in context. But still, there's talent there. I mean, because while they... And it was a tragedy... Certainly, and that's why I'm really excited about our Negro Leagues project. It was a tragedy, of course, that men of color couldn't compete in the majors or what, right? I agree with that. But I would also just offer that the guys that were up there in those 16 original franchises in major leagues weren't, for the most part, a bunch of, here's an old term for you, ham and eggers. I'm not out of hand disagreeing with you, JT Dutch. I just think that, and I know you're not diminishing Babe Ruth, but I don't know. I mean, Bonds was a great player with the tarnished image. I would put that out there. And I knew as a Pirate fan, this guy was going to be, he was Hall of Fame. You could just tell. And then. Results for Wagner simple and plain and black and white. He holds his own defensively and offensively as complete a player. Now, see, there we go. Willie Mays. You want to talk maybe possibly for somebody, okay, playing and finally integrated baseball. I would say there's a stronger case for Willie Mays as the greatest player of all time more than Bonds. Again, though, how many of us here saw Willie Mays in his prime? I didn't. Maybe Ken, maybe Clinton saw Mays in his prime. I wasn't even a thought back in the 1950s. Like, not even close. The Mays documentary on HBO Max is a must-watch, great story. If you want to say Mays was the best, I won't argue with you. I mean, I think Mays had a few more tools than Bonds. And I'm not diminishing Bonds. It's just, damn it. that just, oh God, just greatness there, and wow. That movie that I put up there on the Discord, Soul of the Game, an HBO movie's really cool. Really centers around Branch Rickey, Satch Page, Josh Gibson, and Jackie Robinson. But you get to see a sort of Willie Mays kind of thing there in the movie. No spoilers, but there's a really cool thing there with Willie Mays kind of at the end of the movie, which is nice. Not the actual Willie Mays, but the actor. Big Clue says, yes, I know. And I know you do, my friend. Please don't take that as I'm trying to snipe at you. I would never doubt your knowledge. This is with the National League originated in 1876, and only two of those teams, the Braves and Cubs, survived until 1901. In fact, half the 1901 original National League started in the American Association. Yeah, the Pittsburgh Pirates being one of them. They started in the American Association. Yep. Carlos Yaz talking about Willie Mays, how much racism went through San Francisco, right? And when we think about San Francisco, right, it's a now, I mean, it's a liberal bastion. But I've also heard that Boston, well, Boston was the last team to integrate, and a lot of players of color, and I hate to make that differentiation, have said that Boston is like just still. You still get epithets from Boston, Massachusetts. Jeez. JT Dutch says, I think that Bonds was a terrific outfielder in his earlier days. He's in the 500 club with home runs and stolen bases. And he's the best, most complete, most feared hitter I ever saw. I can't disagree with that, JT Dutch. I'm not disagreeing. Big Clue says, the Beatles eternally agree with you. The PED users make me sad. Major League Baseball facilitating it happening, and the two-faced approach by many media about is what makes him angry. Mostly, though, I just feel lost. Yep. Bonds is a great left fielder for range, says Steve Tate. And Big Clue, with another good bomb here, though. PEDs are a huge what-if. We'll never be able to answer definitively. Bonds was a feared hitter. I mean, you could see it on pitchers' faces when Bonds came to bat. No argument there. But for Jackie Robinson, right, 1947 forward, I almost have to give the nod to. I really got it. I think I am, in fact, going to give the nod to Willie Mays as the greatest player of all time. Certainly since 1947, I will say I would go that far. I would go that far. Definitely go that far. Robbie Wartburg says, I think, though, when it comes to PEDs, using is using, and do we really want to put that in the Hall of Fame alongside great players like Wagner and Ruth? And Robbie unequivocally says, no. I didn't know those homeless people were into politics, says Big Clue about San Francisco. The PED thing, MV says, I think I don't get the PEDs existed long before the so-called PED era, but the old guys pre-90s get a pass. Intentional walks Bonds got were insane. No one has intentional, and again, JT Dutch also coming right in on the heels of that from Carlos, saying that he doesn't think that no one has intentional walk numbers anywhere close to Bonds, not even Ted Williams. Yeah, how about it? Intentional walks with the bases loaded, Barry Bonds. I remember watching a game when that happened. Bases loaded, and they intentionally walked Barry Bonds. Jeez. I think even Mays said they took, I think, greenies. That's the fun of this hot stove stuff that we do, guys, though, is the fun debate it engenders. So, good stuff. Smart people. And with that, shock. This is a short Beatles Eternally stream, 2 hours, 5 minutes. We're going to close it down. Just a couple more comments, and then we're going to start the exit through the turnstiles to borrow from RGL Network. Robbie Ortberg says, I just feel it would tarnish the Hall of Fame stand. Well, the Hall of Fame already is tarnished, my friend. It's already tarnished. There are people in the Hall of Fame that should not be in there. Rabbit Moranville? Come on. I'm not going to name any more players. Moranville is probably the least controversial person that you would say does not belong in the Hall of Fame. Bench gave an interview about how old timers felt about the PED players. He let the cat out of the bag. It's different from Green. These are other winked at cheating in their minds solely. Carlos says, okay, forget fielding and base stealing. Was Ted Williams the greatest hitter of all time? Nope. And I know that's going to piss off Red Sox fans. I don't think he was the greatest hitter of all time. I think he was one of the greatest hitters of all time. So we'll see how many people are going to smack me down for that one. I do not agree that Ted Williams was the greatest hitter of all time. Maybe second or third. JT Dutch saying he doesn't think Ted Williams was better than Barry Bonds. I don't think Ted Williams was better than Willie Mays. Ted Williams was a great hitter. And you have to forget the fielding because Ted Williams didn't give a shit about fielding. He really didn't. Ted Williams reminds me of a guy that reminds me a bit of Ted Williams, although nowhere in his league, if you will, in terms of prowess. Williams to me, and I know I'm going to piss off some Red Sox fans about this. Williams was for me a one-dimensional player. He was a great hitter. He hit, and he hit for average, hit for power. But you almost can't take it. I mean, if you want to look at pure hitter, I don't know. What about some of the other guys? Even guys that we didn't see. Hornsby was a great hitter. Oh my God, Shoeless Joe Jackson. I don't know. And of all people, Bud Selig is in what a joke that is. So Robbie, there's the tarnishing right there. What the hell is Bud Selig doing in the Baseball Hall of Fame? God, that's bullshit. Steve is saying the PED players should be in because Major League Baseball allowed and encouraged it, especially after the 94-95 strike. Hey, I'll admit before it came out, as much as I prefer a good pitcher's duel, it was fun watching McGwire and Sosa chasing Maris. I almost said Babe Ruth. Chasing Maris. It was fun. I will totally admit to it, guys. Yep. MV says he'll take Ted Williams in a draft all day over Barry Bonds. Big Clue says baseball commissioners like U.S. presidents. Just when you think you've seen the worst one yet, there's a new one. Steve Tate says he thinks all players should be force injected with PEDs to get the best performance out of them. It's all about what the fans want. Ooh, all right. There was an historical precedent for that from the state of Indiana in about 1905, 1906, but we'll let that alone. Anyhow, guys, it's always a joy, man. You guys are coming in here, and I love the fact that we can talk about these, right? We can disagree, and yet we're not smacking each other over the head, and that's good stuff. Because smart people in here, all of you. JT Dutch says to Steve, I think there's a sort of myth-making about PEDs and about how that's the reason Bonds got mass and muscle. Look at Barry's dad, Bobby. He looks like the Hulk. Barry had the genes. Yeah. I just know there was a big difference between the Barry Bonds of the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Barry Bonds of the guys up north, JT. Again, I'm going to keep using that. When you're in the chat, it's going to be the guys up north. Steve Tate is trying to get Pop Lloyd's walk-up music to load. Nice. Yeah, but bulk in the wrong way, Carlos, I would say. I know a lot of dudes, I haven't gotten there yet, but I know a lot of dudes that are bulky. But I don't think they can hit a ball past second base. Any guesses what it may be? Geez, okay. It's going to be an AC/DC tune. I know that. Because Steve can't resist. Oh, thank you, JT. It's always, it's like I say, man. It's such a treat when you come in. Thank you so much. Right? Yeah, Steve knows he's busted. He's laughing out loud. I rue the day I told Steve Tate that I hate AC/DC because he's been relentless. But I will take it in stride. I will take it. I will take it. I will take it because, damn it, if I dish it out, gotta be a man and take it as well. But I do still rue the day. And as long as I know the redoubtable Mr. Tate, I shall always know that. All right, guys. I got to run and grab some dinner, and then the female particle is going to give me a call. I offered to get out and help her shower, but oh well. I mean, just purely out of, because I'm all about the hygiene, guys. I'm all about the hygiene. So please, please do understand that. There's certainly nothing that would make anybody's folks blush. All right, take care, Carlos. Thank you, Robbie, Arnold. I'm just going to say thanks to everybody. Scrub-a-dub-dub. Uh-huh. Thanks to Big Clue, Arnold Hunter, Carlos Yaz, Robbie Wertberg, Steve Tate, JT Dutch. Again, awesome to have him in here. Did I? Yeah, let me see. No, I did. Yes, there we go. So I did say Big Clue, but I'm going to say Big Clue again. To MV, thank you very much. Random Human 19. Hanging out tonight in the asylum. Am I dropping hints? I don't know. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. It's a good, lively little group here today. And I also say thank you to Midlife Crisis only because, yeah, Aaron Reed. So we also thank Aaron Reed, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Harry Carey, Al Michaels, and I think we got everybody there. So Aaron Reed will be back by popular demand. In fact, Big Clue said earlier that we can see that how easily it is to surpass my very low bar performance. So Aaron Reed, if I go off to do my new channel, maybe I'll just bequeath the Beatles Eternally channel, because I won't be Beatles Eternally on my new channel. I'll bequeath it to Aaron. And then I will... pop in like a month and see there'll be like 4,000 subscribers. So awesome. You said something like that, but I'm too lazy to go back through the chat. But I'll take it. I admit to it. Adios, muchachos, says Steve Tate. Robbie says, have fun with my girlfriend. I try, Robbie. If you get low enough, though, you'll be invited. Oh, ow, damn. All right. Yeah. So Carlos says, woot, looking forward to get Aaron back. So Aaron, if you're still in here, celebrity that you are, that got a lot of laughs. So we're looking forward to Aaron. Some night maybe we'll just have Aaron on and we'll just chat baseball and wrestling and all the other kinds of stuff. So, yeah, shots fired, right? Shots fired. So maybe we'll do that, Aaron, if you'd be up for that. We'll just, maybe that'll be the night we can sort of invite people on somehow. I'll have to do it in StreamYard so that we can get multiple people on and maybe finally do our Why Do You Love Baseball? So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow evening, man. Or not tomorrow evening, Tuesday night. Not tomorrow evening. All right. I've been wanting Robbie to get on the mic. I've been wanting to get Robbie Wertberg to come on with me. Don't even have to call the game. Just come on, Robbie. Yep. He says, big clue. Robbie says that we'll get some ladies to tune in. So give it some thought. All right, guys. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I do mean that. I truly do. If you must watch that madness that's on tonight on the telly, just remember that baseball is still the greatest game of all time, forever and ever. And see around the batting cage, guys, we will have probably some afternoon baseball tomorrow, and maybe a game tomorrow evening as well. So Harwell in the afternoon, Action PC in the evening, or if Steve Tate wants to play a head-to-head tomorrow afternoon, we'll do that. But there will be baseball tomorrow. All right, guys. See you around the batting cage. Thank you.